It's almost 9 o'clock. I have an errand I have to do this morning, so I just have a few minutes and I just wanted to read this chapter of Psalm. Today we're doing Psalm chapter 4. And the Psalms are songs of David, who he was called a man after God's own heart. And he was definitely a man, but he was used of God in a mighty way to share, what it's like to, hey, Rebecca, what it's like to be human, right? And to acknowledge that we need help from God. And so I'm going to read chapter 4 of Psalms. And I kind of already read it earlier, and I was just thinking about the verses in it and do I want to read a chapter a day or how do I want to do this? I guess I'm just going to read a chapter a day for now. And each chapter has a special purpose. It says here, an evening prayer of trust in God. So yesterday I read a prayer of confidence in God. And this is a evening prayer. So Psalms are really good to read. Thank you, Robin. She says, good morning. I hope your day is wonderful and beautiful. Thank you so much. And I just wanted to, just say that the Psalms are really good for going before you go to bed to just calm your spirit, put your trust in the Lord, and also to wake up in the morning and put your trust in the Lord again. And thinking about a greater purpose, that He is a great God. He created us and He has a purpose for our lives. So it says in Psalm 4, hear me when I call, O God of my righteousness. Thou hast enlarged me when I was in distress. Have mercy upon me and hear my prayer. So we know that there's a higher power out there, right? We know that we call him God. In the Jewish custom, they would call him Yahweh or Elohim, and many words in the Hebrew language are used for God, and each one has a different aspect as to who he is. And that is kind of a neat study as well. The many names of God and his attributes. But the word God with the capital G is our creator, our sustainer, our friend, the greatest person above us that we don't really see. We know by faith that he is there because we're still breathing, right? He gives us breath and he gives us life. We wake up and we're here, right? So we just call out to him and we ask him to hear our prayer. It says, O ye sons of men, how long will ye turn my glory into shame? How long will ye love vanity and seek after leasing? But know that the Lord hath set apart him that is godly for himself. The Lord will hear when I call unto him. Stand in awe and sin not. Commune with your own heart upon your bed and be still. God is the one who gives us the ability to just trust. I had a hard time sleeping last night. And I actually kept trying to put my trust in the Lord. Put your trust in the Lord. Put your trust in the Lord. And it's hard for me to calm my spirit sometimes. And that is what God can give us. He can give us that peace that we need to fall asleep, because we do need sleep. And that is what strengthens us for the day. And God knows it. And he will give us the strength that we need to even have peace. Offer the sacrifices of righteousness and put your trust in the Lord. There be many that say, who will show us any good? Lord, lift thou up the light of thy countenance upon us. Thou hast put gladness in my heart, more than in the time that their corn and their wine increased. So he gives us more joy than if we had, in this case, corn and wine. Maybe in our day it might be money, food, and maybe even prosperity. But God gives us more peace than even money could buy. I will both lay me down in peace and sleep, for thou, Lord, only makest me to dwell in safety. And he talks here about righteousness. You know, in our world today, people, I feel like they consider righteousness is whatever humans deem to be righteous at the time. You know, it's okay to do basically anything these days as long as somebody thinks it's okay. But God does have a standard for righteousness. He doesn't want us to lie. He doesn't want us to cheat and steal. And he wants us to love one another. He wants us to watch out for each other, love each other. And, you know, what does that even mean? Some of us know better than others. Some people, maybe you haven't been loved in your life, or maybe, you know, I see a lot of videos about, you know, family problems, marriage problems, and things like that. And a lot of those happen because humans in this day and age, even though we have prosperity, we might have things that can't replace relationships and people and love. So God's righteousness brings us peace when we learn to love the way Jesus loved people. He loved the unlovable. He loved, even though, you know, these people were the most unloved of his day. And those are the people he reached out to. So we can look at righteousness as God's standard, that we would be kind to one another, that we love one another, that we would, I think of the verse in the New Testament that says, whatsoever things are true and honest, whatsoever things are good and lovely, if there be any virtue, if there be any praise, think on these things. And when I go to YouTube, a lot of times I see the things that are negative. Those are the ones that, the videos that blow up, because everybody wants to hear a story about something bad that happened. That's what's all in the news, you know, everything that bad that happens, people want to hear about it. Stories of crimes and stories of criminals, those are the most popular. But maybe those aren't good for us. They don't give us peace. They don't give us strength for the day. We want to read about people that are inspiring, people that have done good things in this world, and people that want good things for this world. And I think most people do want good things, but it's kind of part of our human nature to gravitate to things that might have happened that were bad. I know that my friend and I, we read a book about the airplane that went down in Gander in Canada. And it was all about good things that happened on that horrible time when people in New York, you know, looking for their loved ones who'd passed away in this horrible tragedy. There was a group in Gander, Canada, who were helping each other and taking care of one another, and lots of stories about people that were diverted to that area, had never been there before, and how the people of that town took care of them. And it might not be the most popular story, but those are the stories that we can look for as people that love God and want righteousness. Is that's what gives us hope, that there are people in this world that love God and that want to do what's right, and they don't want to hurt people, and they don't want to see other people getting hurt. And the Lord will lift up those people that want to do good. It says here, lift up the light of thy countenance upon us. And we need God in this day, in our life. And that's what gives us hope to keep going on this earth. Thou hast put gladness in my heart, more than in the time that their corn and their wine increase. So he gives us gladness even more than when we have prosperity. God gives us peace. You know, have you ever seen the person who has absolute nothing? In the Bible, there's that woman who, you know, she gave the woman's mite. She gave all that she had. And she was so happy to have something to give. And yet she had the peace. She knew she had what was most important. And this is what gives us peace, to rest, to know that God is in control and that he will take care of us. For thou, Lord, only makest me dwell in safety. So the Lord gives us that peace. The Lord gives us safety, even in times of trouble. So that is Psalm chapter 4. Thank you so much for coming to this video, and I appreciate that you would stop by, and thank you for coming to my channel. And I hope that you have a great day, and I hope that you reach out to God, who can give you peace in your life, whatever you might be going through. So thank you so much. And I'm just going to say a quick prayer. Dear Lord, I thank you for this day. Thank you for your blessings that you give us every day, for your word that gives us comfort and strength in times of uncertainty. Lord, I pray that you'll bless this day and all that's in it. And we would look to you for our strength and our help, and allow you to give us peace. Pray in Jesus' precious name. Amen. Thank you so much for coming. I'll see you next time.